farm, the deed goes back to 1750, and it was actually my husband's ancestors. They came over from Germany. It was two brothers. The summer house here, what we consider the summer house, I believe was the first building. I think they built a little log house here, and then, you know, lived here as they cleared the land and built the barns, and then later on built a larger farmhouse. My parents bought it after World War II. They moved up here from Lancaster County, and then I married my husband, and we bought the farm from my parents' estate, and here we are. We're a goat dairy. We have our raw milk permit, so we focus on bottling milk. We also make dairy products such as raw cheeses, pasteurized fresh cheeses such as Chevs. We make goat milk pudding. Sometimes we'll have like custard type pies, goat cheese crackers. I also make goat milk soap. So basically anything with goat milk we're making. We've had our commercial herd since 1996. Now, of course, I've had goats before that. And originally we weren't making our own feeds. I would buy feeds from different feed mills. And I was very naive. I assumed, you know, you could trust the companies that I was purchasing the feed from. One of the larger companies, I was feeding this goat feed to my milkers, and I discovered it had feather meal in it. So chopped up chicken feathers was in my goat feed, which isn't even logical. They're ruminants, they're herbivores, they should not be eating, I mean, they would never consider eating something like that, not on their own. So I gave up on that feed company. And then we were using another feed company, and they were putting cottonseed in my feed ration. Well, I learned all sorts of things about cottonseed. It's one of the most heavily sprayed foodstuffs that are out there. So, the goats were being exposed to these chemicals. Plus there was some information that it couldn't cause sterility in the bucks. So I dropped that company. I went with another one, and they had a special recipe just for our goats. And I actually had goats die. And that was because there was urea in the feed. Well, urea cannot be fed to goats. It can be fed to cows, but a goat cannot touch it. Too many of the feed companies either will treat goats as miniature cows or as sheep, and their nutritional requirements are different than both. They're a unique animal, and they need to be treated as such. I had heard about Fertrell a couple times. I had been at some workshops, and one of the feed reps was there, and he was talking, and I liked the idea that they actually had feed supplements that were usable for organic farms, because that was also a hard thing to find. You go to a local feed mill, even if you want a custom feed mix, they rarely have organic supplements that you can put in your feed. So I was starting to, get a little interested, and then some of my neighboring dairy farmers had a Fertrell delivery man come. So one day he stopped in and we talked, and I decided I'll try their minerals. I was cautious, very slow, and I really liked them. So I'm at the point I trust Fertrell, which takes a lot coming from me because, like I said, I had a lot of bad experiences. But I do feel, they're never going to sell me a product that is going to harm my animals or would not be safe for organic use. So yeah, I'm very pleased with them. One of the first years when we were first farming, my vet bill was actually higher than my feed bill for that year. So, and now the only time the vet comes out is for the mandatory TB and brucellosis testing that we have to do for the state because we have a raw permit. It's no need to call them out, so, I guess I just learned to question more things as to why do it conventionally. So much of conventional farming is just done without question because that's how we've been taught. It's like drummed in your head all the time. Why do we use chemical fertilizer? Do we really need chemical fertilizer? It's just potash, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Shouldn't we be putting trace minerals back into our soil too? The plants absorb trace minerals. So yeah, I guess I ask lots of questions. Becoming organic has been a gradual process for us. When we first started with the goats, we were doing, I guess you would call it conventional farming, where I did use the antibiotics and we did use hormones to get the goats into heat out of season. And now we never used herbicides on the fields, but we did use the treated seed corn. In fact, we raised corn and soy, which we no longer do. I don't think goats do as well in those. I think the type of animal they are, they're browsers by nature, like white-tailed deer. So they normally will eat the tops of the weeds, and which would have your seed, your small grains in. What we get is the goat mineral supplement that goes into our feed ration. We make our own feed now. That's the only way. My dad always used to say, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. So we do it ourselves. That way I know what my goats are being fed. We're using Fertrell's Goat NutriBalancer, and I use their kelp. I'm a big advocate of kelp for animals, for livestock. My border collies get it in their feed. It's a fantastic product, and the goats love it. It's like candy. So you have to make sure a bag isn't too close or they'll shred it. When we had first started milking commercially, we were just shipping milk. We were shipping it to a cheese-making facility. And in no time at all, I had people stopping in wanting to purchase our milk. Just recently, when we no longer shipped milk, when we made the decision to stop shipping milk because we weren't, they weren't paying us enough what our milk was worth, that's when we got an automatic bottler and a combination cheese vat pasteurizer, so that we could start marketing our products not only here on the farm, but we could start marketing in stores. We did it in very small steps. First I got the raw permit. We did that for a while. We used to have just a refrigerator in the milk house where people would come in and take the milk, leave their money in a dish, and then eventually we decided to open up a store so we could offer more products. Our customer base is so varied. We kind of have three particular groups. Like we have like I had said, the locavores, the ones who want the local feel. They want to know where the products are coming from. Then we have kind of the gourmet type person who they're looking for, really good goat cheeses, and they want to make their own cheese, so they'll buy a gallon of milk to take it home and make their own really cool cheese. And then we also have people who have health concerns. Perhaps the baby's not doing well on formula. Well, goat milk is like the universal milk. I mean, more people on this whole planet drink goat milk than any other milk. Babies do fantastic on it. I have a number of customers who have children who are autistic, and they actually improve mentally once they switch to the goat milk, because goat milk is digested in 20 minutes versus 2 hours for cow milk. And to have a mother come in and talk to you with tears in her eyes, that she's so thrilled and so excited that she finally found something that the child can digest, is just, it's so rewarding. I'm seeing a lot of people want to reconnect with the local farms. So we try and make our farm available to them. They can come in, look at the goats if they'd like. I've had people already eat their lunches out in the lawn over the summer and bring their kids and just sit here and look at the goats and stuff. I try not to have any secrets. This is how we farm, and it's wide open. Anybody can see and ask questions. It's really neat when they finally discover us and they're like, "You've been here all this time, I've been looking for you," So it's rewarding, it really is. And you make this connection with the people, they become your friends. The goats just have so much personality. I really enjoy working with the goats. I believe in, I like the milk, I like the animals. It's just a fantastic way to live, it really is. You feel like you've accomplished something.